everybody, how y'all doing today? It is January the 31st, 2024, and talk about luck. I'll tell you what, it's starting to get comical at this point. I was just eating something just a little bit ago and felt I bit down on something. There was like a crunch, and it was like, what in the world is this? And I pulled something out of my mouth, and one of the fillings in the very back of the other side of my mouth just fell out. So I'll tell you, it's getting interesting, to say the least. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about something, and for the guys that are out there who have been watching this channel for some time, I'm sure I've touched on a bunch of these topics already. I know that some of the things I'm going to discuss today you guys have already heard, but you know, there's a lot of people here who are just now joining in, just getting here, our new subscribers, and you know, they're not going to go back and watch every single one of the videos that I've already posted to go, you know, get all the information. So I figured, because I keep getting this question over and over again, so I figured I'd make a video about it today and just talk about it. What I'm going to talk about today is you know, why I don't have a liver transplant and why I'm not on a liver transplant list, and how long my life expectancy is. And I'm gonna get into that in just a second. But there's just so many new people here, and you know, people are just interested, I guess, to know how long I've got, and you know, why I'm not on the transplant list. And I just figured I'd just break that all down today for you guys. Before I get into all that, though, I did want to show you guys this. So my mom made me this coffee mug, and it's got the logo on both sides. She's got like a machine that she prints stuff like. My mom's been doing stuff like this forever. She's been making homemade quilts for people for years, and she bought a machine or something that you can like print this stuff out onto like cups and stuff like that. And so anyway, so she made me this cup right here, and I showed it to my son last night, and he was like, wow, he was so excited about it. So I asked my mom to please make him one. So she made him one and then made an extra one, and she just dropped him off to my wife at her job just a few minutes ago. My wife just texted me and said that the cups got dropped off up there, and it made me think. I was like, well, I've got one for my son. What am I going to do with this other one? And I was like, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to raffle it off. So with that said, if you guys are interested in one of these mugs, and these things, I mean, this is like seriously super nice. You can't feel it's like burned into the ceramic. If you're interested in getting a cup, I've only got one right now. If you would like to have one, put your name in the comments and just say, hey, I'm interested in the raffle or something like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the video like at least 2 days just for people to kind of catch up to it and watch it. And for everybody that's watched and puts in the comments that they're interested in getting the cup, I'm going to write everybody's name down that put that in the comments. I'm going to put all the names in my hat, and then I'm going to draw somebody's name out, and I will ship it to you free of charge. It's on me. I just need you to let me know that you're interested. So you got to hop in the comments and let me know. That's the only way that I'm going to be able to get your name and all that good stuff. So, and we'll figure out how to get your information for shipping and all that later on after I call who wins. So just hold off on that. So whoever the winner is, I'll contact you some way or another, and I'll get your address and I'll ship it to you. And like I said, there's no gimmicks, nothing. And, you know, you don't have to do anything special. Just put your name in the comment. I'll draw your name, and whoever wins is going to be the one that gets the cup. And I'm just going to ship it off to you. So with that said, like I was saying just a few minutes ago, I wanted to talk about why I'm not on the transplant list right now. And for one, what happened in the beginning is, like I've said, I got pancreatitis back in May of 2022, and then thought everything was fine, and then going into September of 2022, I got pancreatitis again. After that, you know, I was very sick that time, and that's when I had a whole bunch of complications happen. And, you know, they did a whole bunch of tests at that hospital. That was the one that was in Columbia. So they sent me to a liver specialist in Charleston. I went and saw him, and, you know, I'd already had a whole bunch of MRIs, and I think I had an MRI right before I went and saw him too, with contrast. And when I went to go see that liver specialist, he found immediately something that had been missed all this time, that there were blood clots that I had in my portal vein to my liver. There's a blockage in my splenic vein and a blood clot in my spleen as well. And these are really alarming to them. Excuse me, I gotta take a little sip out of my my coffee here. But they were really concerned about those blood clots, so they wanted to take care of those first. And part of the TIPS procedure was going in there and fixing those blood clots as well, and trying to break through those. So I met with the doctor. I met with the interventional radiologist. The liver specialist told me I'm gonna get with the interventional radiology, the liver transplant team, and all the liver specialists, because I guess like once a week they all get together and they all sit down and they talk, and they bring up cases, and then all the doctors like come together and they, you know, they all brainstorm what the best case scenario is going to be as a team together. It's not just one doctor making these decisions. And they decided that the best route was for them to go ahead and fix those blood clots and attempt to do a TIPS procedure. The reason being, for one, is that I have varices covering all my organs, and they were very concerned about those varices. They really didn't want to go in there cutting me open in any of those areas, because if they nick one of those varices, it caused significant bleeding. And, you know, all those areas where they're going to go in to go to your liver are just, you know, they were covered in them. Not to mention as well, they thought that they could, you know, that they could fix the situation by going in there and clearing out those clots and prolong me long enough until that we could get this handled. So anyway, that was the best case scenario for them. So they decided to do the TIPS procedure. When they did the TIPS procedure, they went in and they did a splenic thrombosis because I had that clot in the spleen. I guess they tried to break the clot. They couldn't do it. So what they did was they cut the blood supply off to half of my spleen. They tried to get the blood clot out of the portal vein, but it's right where the portal vein kind of splits off, right like this. There was a blockage like right in here. There were actually a couple clots in the portal vein, and anyway, they tried to get through that, but they couldn't. They attempted to break through that clot. They couldn't. But they did do a splenic thrombosis. So when I woke up, my spleen was dying, and I stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks while my spleen, well, part of it died. And then I had to recover from the surgery. I had a embolism and all that stuff as well. But I had to, if that's what it's called, I can't remember. But I had a big place in my leg that was filled with blood. I could be completely wrong on what that is. But anyway, I got out of the hospital after that, and the basic thing that they told me is that they just weren't going to attempt to do the surgery again, because that portal vein was so blocked that they just did not think that another attempt would be worth it, because the risk was too high. So they did get the liver transplant team involved at that point, and the liver transplant team came in and spoke with me as well, and that's what they told me, that I had too many varices at the moment, and they talked about maybe doing a shunt. I guess it's like a fake artery or a fake vein or something that they can do. And the transplant team actually is the one that does that, and they said that they weren't willing to do so just because of all the complications that I had. They said they weren't going to risk it. So they said, "We're sorry, but we're not going to operate on you." So that happened, and basically at that point, I didn't know what was going to happen from there. They had told me that at this point, I was pretty much stuck where I was at, because the transplant team said no. Interventional radiology said they weren't going back in there again. So my only option was to go start looking at other hospitals. And we had already started doing that. They told me that there was one in like New York City. Can't remember the name of the hospital that was up there. And there was another one in Florida as well. And then there's, I think Emory Hospital around Atlanta was another one. They told me to go explore those hospitals because they might do the surgery. There might be a doctor that's willing to do it. And that's what I was told, that I might be able to find a doctor who was willing to do it, but they were not willing to do it. So anyway, come that April, I ended up getting pancreatitis again. This would be the third time that I had pancreatitis in 1 year. And that's when I got diagnosed with chronic pancreatitis at that point. And I'd already seen a pancreatic specialist and right before I had my TIPS procedure back in January. And we thought that my pancreas was starting to look better, but after I got that bout of pancreatitis, they found like 5 cysts on my pancreas this time. I did have cysts there before, but they had shrunk. And the cyst had grown back, and like 2 more had grown as well. So then they became really concerned about my pancreas, and they were telling me that until I get my pancreas straightened out, that I was going to continue to keep having problems with blood clots and all that. So they really wanted to address the pancreatic issues to stop me from continuing to get blood clots and all that stuff like that. So they started doing the ERCPs, and then I met with my doctor again. He called me, and I've talked about this, and he told me he wanted me to come back down and do the TIPS procedure again. So I went back down. They did the TIPS procedure again, and this time it worked out. They were able to get a stent in there. They did do a shunt as well when they did that procedure. So I have a shunt and a stent, and they did the TIPS, and I still have a blood clot in my splenic vein that they have not done anything about yet. There's just been so much other stuff that they have been trying to work on. I guess they're taking everything and going, what's the most important to the least important, and then just, starting at the top, and they're working their way down from here. So they had to address the pancreatic issues, which, we're getting there right now. And I think here soon, in the next few months, I think I might be okay. I've got to have another procedure in March. One thing they did tell me too with my liver, the portal vein where the blockage had happened, a bunch of collaterals had grown across the vein. And I guess they're like little teeny blood vessels that actually grow around and to allow the blood to flow through there. And they said that it was like a huge group of collaterals that had grown around that portal vein. And my doctor was really worried about that because he said those collaterals are very small, and any kind of blood clot could get in there and block that. And he said, and once that happened with me, that's pretty much it. Like, there wouldn't be any coming back once that happens. And he told me basically it's inevitable at this point that it's going to happen. And that's why he really wanted to do that TIS procedure again. The collaterals are still there, from what I understand. But they did go in there and clear the main, that main vein open, and the blood's flowing through. I have to have MRIs done every 3 months for them to, they give me contrast, and then they go in, they look and see what the blood flow is looking like through that portal vein and through those other veins. And the last time that I had my MRI done, which was like 3 months ago, I'm about to have to go back and have another one done. I've actually got one in just a couple weeks. The last time that I went and had my MRI done, I still had varices all over my organs, and they were really hoping that those varices would have shrunk more than they have shrunken. They've shrunk a little bit, but not by much, and it's just not enough to where they would feel comfortable going in there and doing any kind of surgery as of yet. So that's basically in a nutshell why I haven't had a liver transplant yet. It's because I had the blood clots. They were trying to address those first. They were worried about the portal hypertension with the varices, about doing a procedure with those because it's so high risk. And it's not like we didn't discuss a transplant, because that was discussed, but the liver transplant team said, absolutely not, we're not doing it. And then interventional radiology, had told me that they weren't going to do another procedure on me as well, but then they decided again in June that they did it and that they would do it, and they did it and it worked out. So we haven't discussed anything as far as liver transplants or anything like that as of this point yet. All they've really been concerned about is the blood clots, and they wanted to make sure that I still had proper blood flow going through there. I'm coming up on having all of my testing done here real soon. You know, I've got to have all my numbers done, my blood work done. I'm about to have a couple of MRIs. I've got to have one for my pancreatic procedure that I'm having in March. And that's going to be the day of. So March 5th, I have an MRI that morning before I have my procedure done. And then I've got to have another MRI done for interventional radiology, and they're going to take a look at the flow and look at those varices and see what size they are. And I guess we'll go from there according to what my blood work looks like. And that's how we're playing it right now. Everything's being played by ear. I'm not on a list as of yet. Like I said, the liver transplant team said no. So that's why they told me to start looking at other hospitals. But once I got that TIPS procedure done, nobody's talked anymore about it. And that's going to be something I'm going to be discussing with them here very soon. So I'll have more answers as far as, you know, my liver health and what's going on with that. And if they are going to discuss ever doing a transplant, I just don't know as of yet. Like I said, we just haven't really even talked about it that much since the liver transplant team said no. So that's why I'm not on a transplant list. I do know that they told me that I could live anywhere from 2 to 5 to 10 years. And that's just the best guess that they have. My doctors have told me that, you know, there's just not enough literature for people in the kind of condition that I'm in with the amount of issues that I have. They just don't have enough there. I guess there's not enough cases for them to really be able to say most or majority of people live to this amount of days or whatever. But that's what I've been told, anywhere from 2 to 5 to 10 years. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. You know, I just don't know. And they don't know. So that's the only answer that I have. But like I said, I just wanted to make a video today and talk about that because I keep getting that question over and over again. And it's just a whole lot to send in a comment. I just don't want to type all that out. I figured I'd just make a video about it and share that with everybody. As of right now, I'm just not on the transplant list, but we'll see. And I hope that I don't have to have a liver transplant, to be honest with you. I would prefer to not, for a lot of reasons that I don't want to have a liver transplant that I'm not going to go into, but I just don't want to have one. I'd like to live as long as I can with what I have. But we'll just see how this all plays out. And there's just no way for me to know. So anyway, that's that for today. I am going to go ahead real quick and do some movie suggestions, and I'm going to get out of here. Today I've got Renee Milstead recommended NYAD. And she said it's a movie with Jodie Foster in it, and there's a lady that was swimming from Cuba to Florida. I've never seen that movie before. Laura Affinity 1390 suggested a YouTube channel called Grime Life Collective. She said it's a married couple that go and do like small documentaries, I guess, about filming locations for movies. I've never seen that before, and I'm actually going to go check that out when I go inside here today. Kelly Galius 248 recommended Grumpy Old Men. She didn't say where that's streaming at, and I didn't take the time to look, so you just have to see. User 2L3XSLCF8X recommended Lord of the Rings, and I can recommend that one too. I've seen all the Lord of the Rings. It's a great movie series. Teresa Hall 7781 recommended The Out of Towners by Jack Lemmon, old movie. Kristen 1022 recommended Bridges Over Madison County. Hey Kristen, how you doing today? Bob Jensen 148 recommended a movie called Mad God. He said it's a stop animation film. I have yet to see that one too. I'm gonna go look that one up. myself, I recommended a movie called Memento. It's on Prime. If you've never seen that movie, it is a daggum good movie. This guy he has like amnesia. He can't remember what's going on. He gets tattoos all over himself so that he can remind him. Like, he wakes up every single day and doesn't remember what happened the day before, and he's got tattoos all over himself to remind him of what he's doing. It's a great movie. And then the next one I have that's on Prime as well is called Interstellar. If you've never seen that movie, it is an excellent sci-fi movie, and there is so much more meaning to that movie than you would think. And if you're ever interested, look up Interstellar, the meaning of, on YouTube, and there's a bunch of YouTubers out there who have done videos on that and explain that movie to you. And man, that is such a well done movie, and it's so interesting, especially if you really understand what's going on with it. I found that to be so interesting. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in getting one of these cups. I did talk to my mom, and I asked her if it would be something that she'd be willing to do for me so that I could sell these, and she said she would. I have no idea what the price is going to be. She's got to tell me, but I'm going to talk with her and find out how much it would cost for her to make them for me so I could sell them. If you guys are interested in buying them, just let me know. I am trying to get some like t-shirts and stuff like that made too, if anybody's interested in those at some point. I've had some questions about them. I'm trying to work with a local place here in town. I'd really rather support a small business that's local. I'm still working with them, trying to figure all this out. Like I said, I have had some questions about having some shirts made, so I'll let you guys know about that as well as soon as I find out. But the cups, I can definitely get those as soon as you'd like them. I just gotta find out from my mom how much it would cost, and I don't know if it's just white or if she can do other colors or what. She probably will be just white, just to keep it generic. But let me know if you're interested in getting that raffle. And like I said, give me 2 days, so I'll pick the raffle on Saturday. And I'll just write everybody's name down, throw it in a hat, pick your name out, and whoever you are, I will send you your free cup. So anyway, guys, hope y'all have a great day today. I appreciate everybody watching this video. Like I said, I just wanted to do this for all the people that are new to the channel and didn't know about all this other stuff. If you have heard all this information before, I apologize. But like I said, I just wanted to share this with everybody instead of making one big long comment every single time I'm trying to explain myself. But with that said, guys, y'all have a great day. I love y'all so much, and until tomorrow's video, y'all have a great day.